with elevated living today. It's a beautiful day, y'all. And I am here for day number 39 of walking for 60 minutes on the treadmill. And I have included a secondary goal of reaching 3 miles. So it usually goes 60 minutes plus of walking on the compact treadmill, and it's getting the job done. It's day 39. I am seeing awesome results. Yes, all over, slimming down from head to toe, whole body, slimming down. I am satisfied with the results so far and gonna keep it going. Tomorrow we'll be at day 40, but today is day 39. 39. Yay! So I am going to go ahead and get started. Hope everyone is having an awesome Thursday. Happy Thankful Thursday. Happy Thankful Thursday. And I'm just so thankful. Thankful for everything. I'm thankful. Just so thankful. I'm thankful for the space, that I am in. I'm just so thankful. So thankful for the peace and the joy that I feel. I'm just thankful. So I have on this, I needed this weekend. I'm not doing much of anything. I'm gonna do some more spring cleaning, fall cleaning, and do some more cleaning and locate. And now I have an extra power cord from my other ring light that I can use on this one without having to purchase another one. That one did have a shortage in it, but I'm not sure if it came from the actual unit or from the power cord. We'll see. Let me turn. Oh, I gotta start this over. Ooh, wow. My baby been going a long time. Let's see. All right, I'm turning on the AC a little bit. So they're gonna get a little chilly. I gotta start it over from when my daughter's been on here. My baby doing her walks as well. On the treadmill. Getting it in. She's been getting her walks in toward the evening. Getting it in. I'll get mine at the start of the day. Pick this up a little bit. Excuse me. Something about last few days it's been cooler in the morning and in the evening. So weather's changing. So anyway, I'm gonna try to get this speed going. Going. So I don't know where to stretch beforehand, because I didn't do a little bit of stretching. Sorry. went to bed, but it's just okay. Let's get started back up. It was only like a minute and 15 seconds in. Let's start it back over. Let's go. Crank it on up. 2 miles per hour. Oh, start it back up. Yeah, that's that fun. So, I'm gonna 2 miles per hour. I think I'll make my way up like yesterday. Up to 2.7 miles per hour. This is day number 39. 39. And I am satisfied with the results that I am seeing. Happy, happy, happy. Yes, I am. So, yes, very satisfied with the results I'm seeing. Thankful. Happy, thankful for this day. Woo. It was a full moon. That's so out. Nasty. I gotta get minutes. I'm not gonna get a distance. Try not to until I reach half a mile. So, yeah. And that's not good, I think. So by the time I reach 10 minutes and 31 minutes, I'm gonna add this up to 2.5. Ooh, I gotta get my legs bigger than most people do things. Walk a little faster. This is day 39. And I'm very satisfied with the results. And I'm dedicated and committed to these walks. You know, I figure anything over 30 days is just a bonus. And my desired goal is to walk every day for 90 days. 90 days. I really don't eat a lot, but sometimes when my schedule is busy, I'll just automatically eat sometimes, even when the day is long out. But I feel like it's late, so sometimes even when I'm not hungry, I just feel like I should eat something. So I have decided on those days to only to do another smoothie. So I feel like I should eat something in the evening. I'm really not hungry. To get something else I feel is nutritional in my body. I do another smoothie. I know I did raw vegan for, I think I was on my third year, fourth year, third or fourth year, when I first got to Atlanta and I went to the doctor when I was there, and all of my numbers, per se, for my blood work came out really good except for the vitamin D. And that was because mostly while we were there, we didn't go outside. So I had was working from home for those years. And so we didn't go outside, so the vitamin D was low. So I got had a prescription for that. And but since then, everything is really good. I just had more blood work done and everything. All the numbers are pretty decent. So even in that category, because we've been getting natural sun, I'll say, from the heights and things. So let's make this work for both of you all there. It's gonna go up. My legs don't move legs. So go all the way to 2.7. So take the speed up to 2.7. I can feel the difference when it goes from there to 3 miles an hour. So, what is going to be there, 2.7? around 15 minutes is where I reach half a mile. Like 22 to 26 minutes is where I reach a mile. Somewhere in the ballpark. Then put it together, a salad, cinnamon filling. And if I eat breakfast, it's a light one, nothing heavy. Not really like a big plate. I usually, it's been so hot, so I have sufficient amount of water throughout the day. Because the heat makes you more thirsty. And let me open the door. So I've had a smoothie this morning, which consists of around about 6 ounces of water, a banana, a bundle of a bunch of spinach, and a piece of ginger. Oh, and a nice slice of lemon. Put in there. Then put all together. And it's great. Maybe. It's the time of the evening. I'm really not hungry. So I'm ready to start another smoothie. See how that works out. Y'all know it. I don't think I put my phone in do not disturb. Hold on, let's let that go. Hold the line. Oh, I got 3 lights. Thank y'all. Hold on. I'm back. Because it's like, let me hop right on. Thank y'all for the lights. That's really kind of it. Ooh. Thank you. It's much appreciated. So, I'd love to do about 3 seconds. Jump out and come back on. So, I've been getting these blocks in. This is day 39. It feels good. I can tell the difference. You know, this is something good too. For children, especially ones that are homeschooled, if they're not in any type of sport, you can get a compact treadmill or full size. go together. None of the instructors have had a problem with her participating. This man really good. A nice investment. We had 2 years ago. It was my daughter's idea. So she got some money, I think, birthday money. And instead of her letting us use all her money, I went half and we had this together. It's been 2 years now. So, yeah. We used it, alternated between the both of us. Then we had a transition. Sooner than what we had planned for reasons I mentioned in an earlier video, if y'all been paying attention. So, yeah. Oh wow. Almost at an hour. At 2.7 miles per hour. Not too far from now. Something like 2.5. It's a nice brisk pace for a treadmill walk. But if you want to push yourself a little bit more, you can take it up like 0.1 from there and see how you feel according to you. But for me, really, 2.5 is a nice brisk walk. Some days I have more energy than others, and I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Sometimes even get in a slow jog. The other day, I slow jog for a mile and walked to stay 37. Yeah, day 37. Put ice in smooth. Nope. You don't. I just either have the water chilled, most of the time room temperature. It's hot. I like it first thing in the morning. And with water. No, I don't do the almond milk. So I was telling her, I'm like, freezer and let it get icy. And use it to make it smoothie. Yeah, I don't think you want it to freeze solid, but go ahead and flush it out. Let's see what we have. 2.7 miles per hour. Excuse me. And I hit 23 minutes and 4 seconds. And this 0.89. So yeah, pulling down and reach 1 mile. Raw vegan, I got down to comfortably a size 6. It was nice. So a big 6 fitted. Really loose, I would say. Had a little room. I had my thinnest when I fasted. When I did that 55-day fast, I was a little bit more thicker before I started. So by the time it was all over, I was down to a size 6. And I kept fasting and eating raw. So a 6 fitted me comfortably. That wasn't the goal that fast. I didn't document the details of it, but you can see my results after it was said and done. Because that I didn't do for weight loss purposes. The weight loss was one of the byproducts of that fast and fast. Okay, so this was just fasting on social media. But I've been fasting on solid food. So, but and I was already eating vegan. And then after the fast, I just went raw vegetables, I didn't eat any cooked foods for about 6 years. And as I started incorporating cooked veggies, I started to pick up weight. Then I started, because I didn't eat any sugar at all. Then I started eating more foods that were sweet. It's like I had been eating that way for so long that I couldn't even jump back into eating sweets. It would make me sick. I would get nauseous. So it took me a while to even start like that. Because that was a course of Quite a few years. Because I started out working on making a lot of my own like sauces, all of that. It's like I'm completely raw. I stopped. I didn't eat at restaurants. Because I started getting like this clear vision of things. My husband started being open to a lot of truth. But man, anyways, start seeing new things to do. We start seeing a lot of truth. Yes, you will. I think that's why once you do a fast, especially for spiritual purposes, you shouldn't tell anyone you're doing. Because I didn't. I mean, I was just like, really just pulled away from everything and made it fast. I remember like 3 of those days being really, really weak. 3 of the 55. I remember my body being really weak. But it was only supposed to be 30 days. But I got so used to not eating. I went ahead and started back at day 55. Like around 55 days. After 55 days. And then after that, I kept going, like fast here and there. Some days, those were spiritual purposes. That's what I was led to do. I did plenty of, like 3 days. 3 days of nothing. I think I did a few of those. 3 days, I didn't even think anything. And, but that was these facts, not the weight loss purpose. If you go back and watch the videos, and I talk about the 21 days fast that I did. I think I was back in 22. I did the lemonade cleanse for 21 days. That was the last longest fast that I did. And I talked about it, but I think you can see it in my videos from when I first started. That, and I went down, I was like really clean. Because I already did a lot of fasting, and when I wasn't fasting, I was eating raw vegan for years. And I stuck with the same foods for years. I ain't too stray away from it. So I was like a creature in habit for those few years. But the one I did documented was the lemonade cleanse. I did that one for 21 days. I documented that progress. So now, not even, I'm just eating my own salad today, and then my smoothies. And in the evening, I'm starting not to really be that hungry. So sometimes I eat, feel like I'm giving my body some nourishment, but I'm gonna start doing smoothies. But I feel like when we started doing exercise, it's a spiritual thing. You know, you do it for the physical, but if you do it on a regular basis, it is spiritual. That's why you find some neighborhoods you go in, you see people early in the morning jogging. Because it's a spiritual thing. Or you could say mental, when you start saying spiritual, people get spooked out. So, it does. Exercise and works on all the dimensions of you. So, people like to naturally explain everything, like scientifically, in that field. If they can't be scientifically explained, then it really doesn't make sense per se. So you can't really talk spirituality with many people. You just can't. You start looking at you twisted. Some people do go to the lens of being on the dark side of spirituality, but it's like you most of the time taught religion, because most of the time we're just regular religious routines. Many people don't get results. If you sit and talk to them, a lot of them don't really get the results that they're looking for. Only a select few within those different organizations or communities, depending on how I'll say how in alignment the leaders remain from being, but sometimes our organizations grow and become like mega, and all they do is teaching personal interactions per se with the people, and you don't have to when you are in touch with the divine most high, because then if you're being a vessel, then you get those divine downloads and impartations. You become a vessel where those messages and information can flow through to the people. But but I'm not. Some people are just like super religious. They don't know the difference between being religious and spiritual. They think they do. Some think they do. But they don't. So, anyways, there's levels to everything. So, anyway, most of the time, when you're in a controlled environment, then let's say your growth is controlled. It is in everything. There are only a select few that are allowed to just freely evolve and grow because in a controlled environment, is more selective on different individuals that per se uses their gifts, their talents, that evolve. So, anyway, for one thing, I don't think there's enough room for everyone to exercise their gifts and talents. And some people are suppressed in controlled environments. I think that's why a lot of individuals leave organizations because you have to be able to be your gift. Everything in controlled environments has to be controlled. So if you want to be free to be you, that's kind of when you back away from religion. And it's all order in a way. Is like most of it is just a controlled environment. It's a controlled environment, and I didn't realize just how controlled. So you meet someone and they're like, I'm over 300 deacons, and they only have 10 deacons in their church. And then you begin to think outside the box. Like, they don't even have that many members. So that lets you know there's like a silent organization within the organizations. So there may be more people aware of it, I guess, than others did, but I did. So it's really like it's controlled environments. And that's in any setting. If you walk into a controlled environment and you don't know there's already a silent operation going on, and you're thinking you're just free to be yourself, you're going to face, that's what people face, and you're going to face a lot of opposition, especially if you're really one of the ones adhering to what is being taught. Most of the time, there are people within the organization that are watchers, so they are watching, they have eyes on you in the controlled environment. They have secret meetings, secret teaching, secret, or I'm not going to say secret society. I don't know, you can call it what you want, but have secret meetings, secret organization within the organization. So basically, you just in a controlled environment. And at some point, I believe most people feel it. You know, it's the same thing when you go on a job. You think you're there, you know, you get new employment, and you want to do your best, give your best, show your appreciation sometimes for the new employment, the new position, being hired, and you get in there. It's a controlled environment. If you and yourself are just, you may not be trying to outshine or outdo somebody. You just want to do your best work. And especially if you have like a spirit of excellence and you really stand out, then sometimes you decidedly be pushed out, you know. And some companies, the quality of the service or whatever they deliver, it goes down because even they are not aware, because some owners are not that involved in their businesses. They just employ people, have employers, and they let their managers or whatever run it. And all they want to see is the bottom line. But sometimes those businesses can start drop in revenue, quality, because they don't know how a lot of those people, sometimes they put in management position, are so insecure, you know. And sometimes when new people come in, they are there to replace you, but sometimes I feel like we've been in this place 30 years. You shouldn't be in the same exact. Yeah, that is the same exact thing. Place for 30 years. Of course they're going to move you because they need fresh ideas, fresh energy. They need somebody to come in and bring freshness. Because a lot of times people get stagnant, old energy. They don't even realize it sometimes and see, you know, how far they drifted away from where they started. But anywho, it's the same thing. It's a structure set up even in businesses, employment, that a lot of those managers, they either use their privilege or either way it's abusing their power, privileges, and abusing their influence. Because a lot of them are good friends to somebody higher up or they're related. A lot of people you go into, you know, you want, that's why you can't lay out everybody. Because sometimes people relate, a lot of them. So, in some kind of way, they relate. So, you have to be pretty particular about how you move. So, depending on your influence, they lead you right on out the door. But that's why you really can't. These days, there's so much envy and jealousy. But you can't focus on that. You really can't become too attached to anything, anyone. You know, some people can. They'll be like, like, oh, I've been here 30 years. And some organizations, their operation running great because some of them do have great managers. But if you go to a place and it's a high turnover, and you talk to people, how long have you been here? Sometimes it's good to find it out. And they say, a lot of them say 3 months, 4 months, 8 months. It's a high turnover place. So just know your state may not be long. You know, the employment there, there's a high turnover. I don't know why that don't send off red flags to the higher management, but if it's a high turnover rate, they got bad managers most of the time. That many people are not coming in and not really wanting to stay. Sometimes it can be the case, but I mean, when it's high turnover rate, yeah, most of the time, it's not really good management. So everything, just about every environment is controlled. And you think most of the people, they're just there to spy on your face, keep an eye on you, keep the environment controlled environment. And that's why those things are set in place. So that's why I always say a lot of gifts and talents, everything is greedy. You know, a lot of the people gifts are not really displayed per se. So there used to be a time where you can mainly like discover your gift and operate in it and get paid from it. But today's time, things are really controlled. So you don't be hard on yourself. It's probably been like that for a long time. You know, you get all these high hopes for yourself. You'll let 1 or 2 people, maybe in your community, go, because now it's even different. What do you call it? The states is like grown, so with diversity, you need to, I'll think of it in a minute. But now you have so many different groups, so, and all of them are controlled for the most part. Now, a few people are going to get through. Some people get through, paying their way through. Some people actually get through with their gifts if they get recognized by the right person. And some people sacrifice their way through. So things are not always, it's not what they seem. And it's not, I know this is a exercising video per se, but I'm just walking and talking. Alright. But working on my fitness goal and my exercise challenge. So anyway, but so for a lot of things, deception to be broken off of your mind and your life. A fast is needful. If you don't have any underlying health conditions, you know, and I am not a doctor, a physician. I'm just speaking from my own experience. So, you know, you should do that because not doing anything wrong. Sometimes, depending on how these people feel threatened by you, once you start to see clearly, a lot clearer, your name could be, you can start to be like, they'll try to make you appear to other people within their group in a negative light. They'll try to paint a picture and do like throwing rocks, hiding their hand type stuff. I don't know, let me see if I can explain that. And they'll start doing things together to try to sabotage your progress. Sometimes in a certain place, a certain area, or a certain field, they will, and have you looking a certain way. And sometimes, depending on how crafty they are, sometimes they can do certain things to have, that's why I like have people to act out of character and they really stand out in a negative light. That's why if you're a parent, you need to pay attention to how your children act around other people, how their behavior and attitudes change in certain environments. But you have to be particular of that as well, especially if you have some that are being taught, but some people are being brought up in darkness. You know, they're being brought up in evil settings, evil teachings, all the way from birth. So, if you know the child is in a more of a righteous setting per se, being taught good teachings, you got to be particular. Even of the children they hang around, you know, because when your children are being taught what's right, they think everybody else is that way. Sometimes you have children from youth, they brought up from birth in evil environment. I'm talking about dark. So they go off to school with them, they go off to college with them, and then eventually to work. And don't take it for granted when they're not in preschool and on the playground with them. So that's why you have to really truthfully stay prayed up. And if you're in a healthy position to even do a fast, because I think as you get older, sometimes you're not in a position to do too many fasts. Might be, because I still think. But as you age, that's anyway, when you fast, you begin to see clearer. When people talk to you, they'll be saying one thing, and God let you hear the truth of what they're saying when you fast. And it's not for you all the time to just go talking about it, but to be careful how you maneuver in an environment. But most of the time, when you enter a new place, you don't know it. I don't care where it is. It's already an operation going on. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? I had hopefully it'll come to mind before I finish this video. demographics. 'Cause I remember I had looked into living in this one place one time, and I asked the lady about, but anyways, she said, what do you mean, the demographics? There are some places you go. Anyway, it's a whole other subject. But people not blind, they can see. Most can see. Some are blind. That's why you need to pass. But some things that happen, especially if you're a person and you feel things are not right, and especially if you're not able to really move past, like go out past your neighborhood, you don't have a vehicle, you don't have, means to really maneuver around and see what's going on outside your community, you need to fast. Okay. So you can start to see and hear correctly, see correctly, and you can get properly guided. So, and you don't have to even try to plan nothing, strategically do anything. Once you start fast and meditate more, you'll automatically begin to be divinely guided. It just happens. Sometimes, situations can get seemingly out of your control, and people will begin to mock you. So yeah, when you start to grow out of your familiar environment, never mind, I'm gonna have to 3 miles a bit. I'm at 2 miles per hour. A little bit through 60 minutes. So I didn't reach 3 miles yet. So as soon as you begin to grow, evolve and expand in consciousness and not stay religious, you'll begin to grow. Sometimes people call it maturity because they don't want to say the word evolve, expand. They don't want to say consciousness. But when you're more aware, consciousness is more awareness of truth. Because even the biblical text speaks of people sleeping, awake. They're awake doing regular everyday things, but sleep. Once you begin to awaken out of that state, you begin to expand in consciousness. There's more awareness and controlled environments, and pretty much everything is in control. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb because you're not asleep anymore. So things are going to begin to transpire. And it can get bad, like as far as living conditions. But if you don't lose faith, you keep your faith no matter what. Don't try to be a shining star. Sometimes you just stand out. Not because you're trying to stand out and be the front and center of everything. It's just because of the more awareness that you have of the truth and you operate in it, you're not moving in sync with the rest of the people that are still asleep. So that's just like if everybody in the room are asleep in the beds and one person start to wake up, you're gonna notice. They're gonna start moving, wiggling. I know they're gonna get up, get into stuff, doing things when everybody else is laying down, still asleep. So it's noticeable. Same thing in the spiritual sense, in the expansion of consciousness. If you're not laying down, sleep like everybody else, you start to get up and move around, it's so obvious in controlled environments. So when you begin to be more aware and to see more truth, you're gonna move different than you've always moved. So you don't realize you don't fit in certain places, communities, groups, organizations anymore. And you start going through these phases. And it's okay, you will realize it. Sometimes it's okay. But you have to keep the faith, hold on to your trust in the divine Most High, knowing that everything is working out for your good. So now you're awake. You have to do what people do when they are awake. You get up and they're awake. You do things different than a person that's asleep. Same difference. So you have to learn how to be comfortable with operating in that awake state when others, not everyone, but others may still be where you were, per se. So if you do are led to a lifestyle of, per se, a journey of more awareness, then you're not going to fit in with everybody in every place. And that's just the way it is. You just have to learn to be true to who you are. Because when you become a parent and stay like an enemy of yourself, that's when you find a lot of unhappy people and a lot of sick people. When you become your own, going against your own path. Everybody has their own path. So, oh, you know what? Anyway, let me see, 2.7 miles per hour, a little over 66 minutes was the distance. Gotta make sure these are tight. My daughter, she really can't type. Yeah, 0.15 of a mile to reach 3 miles. So it's about the same as yesterday. And I'm not jogging. Probably jog Saturday. But I want to reach 3 miles now. Yeah, so then you just have to stay true to who you are, especially when you've decided to be a vessel that's used for good. Not to be This is Thursday. Don't forget to be thankful. Even though things can be challenging at a certain point, you begin to come out of a sleepy slumber spiritually and awaken some more truth. You gotta choose. You just stand for what's right. And most of the time, even if you're not sure, you're conscious. Everybody have a conscience. Most people do. Some people experience so much trauma that they never get healing from. It seems like soulless things, but that's just the path they decide to take. That's on you. Even choosing to, wow, so, 70 minutes to reach 3 miles. So I didn't even sip on it. So I'm not really and don't get me wrong, I think when you want to misunderstand people, you just do. People will twist your words to mean whatever they want it to mean, but for the most part, a person, there are people that understand exactly where you're coming from. I do believe that things need to be structured because without structure, things are chaotic. But sometimes there are even deeper, controlled per se going on everywhere you go. Where people may negatively be working together. And you see it, you experience it sometimes. You run into people all the time. They're experiencing this and experiencing that. But I always say, like yesterday too, you have to learn to stand up for what's right, stand up for yourself. Sometimes, wherever you are, no matter what it is, sometimes you let people know about what's going on, especially not just to be snitching on people, but when people are doing things to hurt other people. I don't think you should just stand by and just watch that and be okay with it, especially not if you're saying you're a person that's dedicated to doing things that are right before God. I don't believe that. But there are some things that I don't say anything about. Like my sister, one of my sisters, kind of like in a community where we were raised, she was kind of almost like a spokesperson for the community about different injustices. And there were some things that she would talk to me about, especially when it comes down to things that go on, like with law enforcement per se. Some areas, some places, I told her a lot I'm just not a person to do a lot of marching and stuff anymore. But these people, they know what's going on. You know, a lot of them know what's going on. And sometimes it's not always just, um, sometimes it's people who look like you that are involved in different things. So I told her, you know, after so many years, even way back to when I was younger, people reported things that how they were being unfairly treated and done and different things. And now some people are catching things on video. I think some people abuse it per se, like they do everything and just try to use it for their own personal benefit. But there are some people that genuinely run into these situations, and things occur because, like I say, it's a bad apple, evil operating everywhere. I don't what organization, what place you go to, trust me, there's somebody in there operating evil. It just is, all the way in law enforcement. And you should bring it to their attention. Even if you feel like nothing is done in particular to your case, it'll be on record about that individual. You know, you may be protecting somebody in the future. And if you send any documentation regarding that individual, you need to keep a record of it, because I told my sister a lot of times, those people, why do you think they get to go home and go to sleep sometimes? Because that's what they told to do. They're doing exactly what they're told. And you putting all your energy into fighting against something that's allowed. You see how foolish that looks? So only thing you need to do more of is not battling against people, but teaching your community things that they can do, that the Divine Most High automatically does. Things just tend to happen. And one of those things is people don't want to think that eating better and exercising has a lot to do with a lot of things. But in controlled environments, start promoting that and see how long it lasts. Eating right. I'm talking about like on a collective. Like if a pastor was to stop preaching so much every Sunday and say, well, today we finna go walk, or we finna sit in here and do a group exercise. Start doing that every Sunday and every Wednesday. See, let's instead of eating all that fried chicken and macaroni and cheese, let's fix healthier salads when we come together. See how that pans out. You know, let's do healthier practices. You know, let's do that so that even there won't be so much deceiving and deception, you know, coming up. But people are promoting bad habits because they don't want you to awaken to the truth. Because a lot of the people that are put in places are benefiting from you staying asleep. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it goes. But anywho, I believe that there are more who are for you than there are against you. If you're a person that stands, it just doesn't have to be. That's just one of the avenues that evil uses, is like discrimination. That's just one of the areas. It's so many. You know, you don't know how evil is going to rear its evil head up in different situations. You just don't. That's why it's good to just stand for what's right, because some things are just orchestrated, and you have to have your discernment on to see and make sure, or whatever the Divine Most High tells you to stand for. You know, that's on you. You know, but anywho, eating healthier, eating more whole is one of I think that is the first start to awakening, and people are teaching that, and a lot of people are doing it. I'm in one of the ones who have been led to that lifestyle. But I'll just say, be particular though. If you are a person, um, per se, a black person, you have to be particular too about the people that you follow. Because like I said, in everything, evil is lurking. So some of these people who promote sometimes like vegan lifestyle, you have to be particular in those people. Watch their energy. Watch their energy. Watch their appearance, because some of them are being used by evil. And a lot of the videos that you use sometimes can have artifacts in it where they are, um, through them, casting spells on people, putting out bad energy. That stuff happens. So you have to be particular even in that, and they'll draw you in with saying they standing or being pro-black, and you get your pro-black stuff up in there and get hoodwinked, okay? So anyways, be careful every day and just stand for right, no matter what area it is, especially not to just say you just tailing on everybody, but being someone that just not stand around watching people be mistreated to the point that you're seeing people eventually get hurt. That's not cool, and it's not right. Hopefully you have a conscience and a soul still not to watch that. But anyways, waking up with pure intentions and a pure mind and keeping your hands clean, you know, not doing everything to fit into a group. Once you reach an adult, you shouldn't have that much peer pressure where you don't know what to stand. You have enough guts to stand for what's right. Right? Peace and beautiful blessings. Peace out. I'll see y'all on day 40. Day 40 is day 39. Bye.